Hey, what's going on, adventurers? Hello and welcome. Another one of our Slant Alpha adventures getting underway, and I'm not even sure we're Slant Alpha today, technically, since we don't have BOR and DME capability in this aircraft. I don't think we're Slant anything, honestly. Oops. That was supposed to be going away. Alright, there we go. Okay, good. Well, here we are, guys, and we are in, well, right now we're next to, but we are soon to be in the Boeing 247D by Wing42 for VATSIM 2020. Yeah, slant nada, yeah, exactly. So we are, yeah, we're getting into the Boeing 247 tonight. Now, we did stream one time an effort to get this thing up and running, and I hit a brick wall on that because we weren't able to get our control levers assigned. I got the yoke going in it, but the control levers, the throttle levers, mixed levers, prop levers, I couldn't get assigned. Since gone into some research and figured out how to do that through FSUI PC, and I do have that up and running now, so we will get through. And I did try the startup process. I was able to successfully get the thing started and idling on the ramp, but I have not taken it airborne. I know that there's a very, very high probability we're going to fry an engine as we get this thing up and running. I mean, I know that many of you guys in our community have played around with this thing and with varying degrees of success, but I also know that it takes a little practice to manage the engines properly in it, and I know that we're going to kind of do a lot of trial by fire tonight, as the saying goes. Got a few of you who have stopped into the chat. We got Imagine Dragons has stopped in. So say, Slant, what yoke and all do you use? Yeah, so the if you go under the About tab, every piece of hardware and software that I use is listed down there, so you can check that out. The yoke is a Honeycomb Alpha. I don't have the Bravo. The throttle levers are actually two of the, what we used to be called the Cytec Pro throttle levers, and now they're called Logitech, but it's the same equipment. And so I got two of those side by side. They come with three levers, and I got two of those side by side, and then you can swap the knob handles around. So instead of having throttle prop mix, you can switch the knobs around and assign them in terms of it being, two throttles, two props, and two mixed levers. Now in this aircraft, very similar to the way we do our AeroWorks DC-3, I'll show you. The controls in this aircraft are set up a little bit different to where the prop levers are on the left-hand side. Moly. So what ordinarily would be my two throttle controls I have is the props, and then moving left to right, you've got the throttles, which are here in the middle, and then the mixed levers, which are here on the right, and that is very similar to the way it's laid out. In the Douglas DC-3, or the AeroWorks C-47 as we fly it here on stream, and so I do have that modeled the same way, whereas the middle levers, even though they've got the prop knobs on them, the middle levers are indeed my throttles in this aircraft as they are in the DC-3. And it's no fun without a fire, says Deep Fried Friday. Yeah, I'm expecting we will see a few tonight. Have spare engines on standby, says Good Fixins. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, Melvin Leroy is always kind enough to leave spare parts around for us. And, of course, we're kind of at my home airport here. My virtual home airport. I am not a real pilot. And I used to always say my real-world job is not in any way associated with aviation. Well, that's changed slightly. Because the real-world job that I have now is tangentially related to this particular airport, Ocean City Municipal. I work down in Ocean City, and the department I work for does oversee this airport, although my job within that department has nothing to do with the airport. But it's still kind of cool that I work for that department, and I do have some sort of actual relationship with this airport now. So kind of cool. Stab to the face is here. My goodness, where have you been, man? I know you resurfaced in the Discord a little bit lately, and really, really cool to see you back here. Melvin's left a crate of ball bearings around here somewhere for us, says Good Fixins. Yeah, I indeed. I agree indeed. I missed you guys, says Stab to the Face. Yeah, it's great to see you back here, Tom. Great to see you back here. All right, now, some folks might be asking, you very well might be asking yourself right now, why would we do a stream in an aircraft that we've never flown before, and which is sure to be just like an absolute S show or catastrophe? Why do this? Why not learn the aircraft off stream and then come on stream and show us how it's done? Well, two reasons. Number one, I'm at the point now in my life, at least with my present job and in the busy season of a fairly new job, that any time that I take off stream to do something pretty much has to come out of streaming time. I do the stream 3 times a week for you, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, usually, with some variation. But I don't, at this point, don't have a lot of spare time outside of those hours to devote to stream-related activities. So anything that I do for the stream pretty much needs to be done on the stream, or I need to take a stream night off to do it. And that's, in fact, the case from a couple weeks ago. There was a Monday night stream where we were going to fly the DC-6 for you, but I realized I hadn't ever sat down to troubleshoot the control issues I was having in the DC-6. So I was like, well, I'm either going to do another stream where I can't control the flaps, or I'm going to have to take the night off and figure that problem out. And so that's what I wound up doing. So it's the same thing here. If I was going to learn this plane for you, I'd have to take a stream night off to do it. So I figured, well, we'll just do it on stream. Why not? The other reason is, well, sometimes you watch NASCAR to watch the crashes, right? Well, tonight I have a feeling you're going to see some carnage. I've been told, like I said, that you have to be very, very cautious about how you manage these engines, and there is even a little bit of an instrumentation issue when it comes to monitoring the health of those engines, as we found out from some friends here in our sim and stream circles. So we will talk about that when we get there. All right. Well, that leaves us where? That leaves us here at Ocean City Municipal Airport. We've got our friend STW222. I think he's going to do some patterns in the Kodiak. He was rendering as a Caravan, but he's flying in the Kodiak. And if you want to see his stream, he's streaming right now as well. Twitch.tv/STW222, STW222 on Twitch. And check him out. If you want to have us both up side by side, that's fine, or however you'd like to do it. Pop back and forth. Definitely appreciate him hanging out with us tonight. So hope that you'll check out his stream a little bit as well. Anyway, let me get some stuff of the furry co-pilot say hello, by the way. Off to the side, I did finally start looking through just today. The manual for the 247. This is really not a comprehensive manual, but it's kind of a quick start. It's more of a manual for the simulation of the plane. It's not really a flight operations manual per se, but it is there. It is something that we can refer to if we need to. I also have the beginning of a flow list for the startup procedure that I gleaned from a couple of YouTube tutorials for the aircraft. I did manage at least a little bit of prep time in this plane. Actually, as a matter of fact, now that I think about it, I believe I did that on that same night that I took off to troubleshoot the DC-6 issues. But anyway, I did watch through a couple of tutorials and started jotting down some notes as far as how to get this aircraft up and running. And so we will fumble through, and I haven't really gotten anything past startup, but we will kind of cross those bridges as we get to them, right? So we'll start with all the levers down, and the sky is gray. Parking brake is on. Okay, it's not on at the moment. Can we get rid of this yoke just to get it out of the way? Yeah, we can. Same by clicking on the base. So we'll pull that up, and that is our parking brake. The fuel and payload can be set, and that is done not through the Microsoft Flight Sim menus, default menus. This one here that you would ordinarily use. Do not do that. See what I just did? Don't do that. But use this clipboard here, and go to the next page. It does have some performance. So SDW was asking about the flight characteristics. Here's the lowdown on that. It is just about the same size as a Cessna Citation. It's just barely under the weight of a citation. Melvin's got the ladder ready. Yeah, we're going to get these things cranked up here. And literally, when I say we're going to crank up these engines, we're literally going to crank up these engines, guys. Crank is the operative word. Top speed's 200 miles an hour. What's that in knots? 180-ish. Just, I don't know, just eyeballing it. What's a knot is, or a mile per hour is, yeah, a knot. It's 15% more miles per hour than it is knots because miles are smaller than nautical miles. So I think that's about 180-ish, I guess. Cruise speed 189 in miles per hour, so probably what, 150 to 160, something along those lines. Service ceiling 25.4. I'm sure that's one engine ceiling 11.5. I'm sure that it's not going to be normal for us to get up to 25,000 feet in this plane. 36 and 22 is the takeoff. See, these numbers will come back to if we actually do get the things started up. But let's go to the next page here. And so we got the two crew, and we got the one cabin crew. We're going to leave it at that. We're not going to take any passengers on this flight. This is just a test flight. We do not carry passengers on test flights because test flights so often go badly. Wheel chocks, we'll go ahead and set the wheel chocks for now. And by the way, any action that you choose on this, you can see that the crew member actually does pop up and take care of that. You don't see them on the outside, but their little card comes up on the checklist so you know who's doing what, which is kind of nifty. So the parking brake's on. Well, actually, you know what? I set the parking brake so we can remove the wheel chocks now. So you can see a rampy. Well, anyway, it's kind of quick. Anyway, so what do we have as far as cargo and fuel? It's all in kilograms. Click to change units. Click where to change units. Okay, right. Click on the numbers to change the units. Hey, that's helpful. Fuel 1,600 pounds. That's fine. That'll work. We'll just leave that as it is. Let's go ahead to the next page then. We're not ready to wind up the flywheel yet. So Melvin will get the chocks. Yeah, that's what we need to do. We need to edit the crew member so it says Melvin Leroy. I get a nice picture of you spliced over top of our friend Jack there. Let's toss that away for now. Oh, shoot. Nope, let's bring it back. I'm going to start up. No, I do want to go back here. Previous page. So is the door closed? Passenger door is closed. Passenger stairs are removed. Okay, so that's started up that way, I guess. No trucks removed. Yeah, all right. So all that stuff was already done. Get the drink cart stabbed to the face. Yeah, exactly. Load that up. Nice and heavy. Eric FX is here. All right. Master battery switch is yonder. It says master battery on, push red plunger above mixture friction lock. So was the battery actually left on? That's weird. Booted up in a strange configuration. I wonder, maybe it booted up in a configuration that I accidentally left it in. Master ignition on, that is... Yeah, push the white plunger there. So I guess you got to be careful about leaving this stuff on, huh? Engine distributor valve to both. That's on the center pedestal. Yep, so that's that one. Fuel valve can go to left main, which is there. Primer valve can be open. That's the left center. The lowest stem toward the right. Okay, so that's all correct. We're going to start with the right engine. We'll start with the number 2. So the primer select is here, right? Left center, upper twist stem toward right. Okay. Yep, there's that one. I'm going to get the magnetos, the right side magnetos into both. And oh, that is already done as well. prop and mix full for the number 2. So that's going to be those. Throttle will open to about 10%. There. Now we're going to set up the ladder for the number 2 engine, so we'll get that clipboard back out. And the engine startup page is here. Okay, so we'll get the ladder. We'll attach the crank. I'm looking ahead here. We want to start winding up the flywheel. I'm going to put that aside. While that's winding up, we're going to pump the wobble pump back and forth a few times. Watching these fuel gauges to be kind of up in this. If those needles are kind of straight up is where you want them to be. Nope, didn't work. Alright, we'll wind it up again. Maybe I'll just leave that clipboard there. Maybe we'll go a little bit higher. Oh, you know what? I don't think I actually did the priming. Why did I miss? How did I miss doing the actual priming? Yeah, we got to do that about 3 times. That is what I missed. Let's try winding up the flywheel one more time. And while he's cranking, we'll be wobbling. A little bit more. Now let's hit it. No? Alright, what am I missing? Silver knob next to the mags. Yeah, that was see, I left that in that position. See, I did leave this plane. Apparently I left it in a half on state. So wonder if there is like a reset plane here. I thought there was. Yeah, we'll I'll let fly. Radio equipment don't really need. Yeah, not sure. Okay. We'll try it one more time. Eager beaver, by the way, with that tip. The cranking is weak. What controls that? Might need some massive wobble pumping, says friend to all. We'll, yeah, so the flywheel gets itself wound up by our virtual crew member. I could probably let that go a little longer. And I think as long as these are pumped up like above 5, so maybe what I need to do is I need to be above 5. Like I need to overshoot so that by the time I let her rip, it hasn't fallen back down below 5. Let's try it now. Let's try the number 1 just to see if maybe there's something I did wrong with the number 2. So let's go there. All right, so now we're going to prime the number 1. All right, and wind up the flywheel. So he's getting the ladder. Now he's attaching the crank. There he goes. Now he's getting it started. Alright, well, while we're waiting on him to get it up to speed, Get that fuel pressure up. And hit the mesh. Nope. Oh, the mag's on number 1. Yeah, duh. Thank you. Oh, that one started. Alright, let's... Oh, the flywheel sound for the number 2 is broken. Okay. Alright, well, we got a number 1. That's half an That's half a plane. Now we know, and knowing is half the battle. Maybe try to dry start the number 2 if it's flooded, says Alicio. Alright, well. Let's get the throttles matched. So without any additional... Oh, and if we do any additional priming, the priming needs to be moved back to the right side. It does sound like a diesel engine starting up, says Northwest. Yeah, man. The sounds are pretty impressive. Alright, we're winding. We're wobbling. And we're meshing. No? One last try. Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming that there is something broken. It's one of the few plants in which you can hear problems, yeah. Yeah, the sounds are very, very immersive. Alright, so what do you guys recommend? Let's do a full shutdown. Yeah, I was gonna say, don't think I can do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do a full shutdown, including all the electronics this time. Pull that plunger, because when I started this plane, a lot of the stuff was left on. And I assume it's like a persistent state thing, like I didn't shut it off properly when I closed up last time. So all the electronics are off now. The primer valve can be shut off. So all that's in a proper cold and dark state now, I believe. Actually, let's even get that fuel selector off. It can be a little glitchy if you leave something on. Yeah, and glitchy, you know, we use the word glitchy. It may be more of a feature than a bug, right? There is a maintenance page. Yeah, there is, and I think that's not a bad idea, too. I don't think it has to do with failures or anything, but I think we can, you know, go into Top up the oil. Okay. Top up the oil. Okay. Radio equipment's not... Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that we can do. What can we do maintenance-wise? We could disable engine malfunctions and the realistic engine start, but I mean, I really do want to go through and try to use this process, you know, try to get through this process completely. Always top up the oil before you start, it says fixings. Yeah, I have enough trouble with the DC6, so I'm not tackling this one yet, says Iowa Scotsman. Yeah, indeed, we kind of knew that tonight was going to be a little bit of a experiment, like I said. And any other plane, I would have done all this stuff off stream, but for tonight, we're learning it together. Okay, I believe I've got everything shut down now. Go ahead and take her from the top, friends. So there goes Flight Sim 2020. Time for a little undocumented checklist item. Ooh, that was thirsty. Always makes me laugh that the music even... the music always comes in for that second, and then it's like, oh, wait a minute, never mind. He selected no music in the menus. Always makes me laugh. One thing I like to do is cycle everything into an on and off when I load in. That's a Canadian Captain Mustache suggestion. Well, I'll take you up on that, Mr. Melvin. Y'all that have done this plane and have seen it done more than I do, I'm going to take all of your advice tonight. Just waiting for FSU IPC to kick back in. It has over on the right hand side, and there's that one more chord. I was like, shh. Oh, he meant no music. Okay, that's right. We forgot. Sorry. Send the orchestra home. Speaking of full immersion, you guys are hearing all my squeaky chair sounds as I move around. Dancing for you. One of our furry co-pilots has entered the room. All right, guys, let's head back down. Yeah, that's right, indeed. You also have to say hello to the flight attendant, Melvin says. You know, Melvin, actually, you might be able to shed some light on this. I don't know if you've done a lot of playing around with this plane, or you've watched others that have. We were kind of exploring the cockpit the first night we did this, and we found an area where you could hear like a watch ticking, but we never did figure out where that was coming from. So we'll go back to KOXB. There. We'll zoom to the details. I'm going to delete the departure because you need to do that in order to see. I think I was at ramp number 6. Yeah, we'll go with that again. Flight conditions. Go live weather. No, not real time. Back it up to earlier this afternoon, but we will leave the live weather up and running. And away we go. Hopefully won't take too long. Melvin says, I missed the squeaky chair. Yeah, and this is this the same squeaky chair that I had in the other studio? I think it must be. I had the same question, says Melvin. I assume it's a clock or a timer, but I've never found what it is myself. Yeah, okay, talking about the... Oof. Okay, now, interestingly, all the stuff that I reset before I shut down did not reset. Didn't stay in the position we left it in. Mags off. Yeah, okay, so now I think that's a proper cold and dark. Believe. Hopefully. Melvin says cycle everything off and on. We'll do that. Parking brake, I guess, doesn't count. Avionics. Everything off. Levers. Oops, missed the one. There we go. Cycle all that stuff, yeah. Okay, well, let's see if that helped. And we will go back to our flow list and see what we see. Let's real quick. Okay, so I do have my view. Yeah, so something around here is ticking. Can you guys hear that? We never did find it, though. You know, I don't think we looked in seat cushions, but we looked pretty much everywhere else. She's a fickle lady, says Melvin. Yeah. And then there was something about the restroom. Somebody was saying. Well, so we got a full roll on the roll. I don't know if we've got an extra stash back here somewhere. Why? Why do they... Why? Okay. Very good. Well, fortunately, all of our liquid recycling is done for right now. Can we close the door? Okay, good. Thank you for that. I know, Eric says it must be a bomb. That's what I was concerned about. Like, is this like... You guys ever have like the game called like the Titanic Murder Mystery Adventure game for whatever crappy PC I had at the time that I had it on there, and you had to go around the Titanic before it sank and solve like a murder mystery, and it was basically just like that. You're exploring a room just looking for click spots. Am I crazy? Am I the only one that remembers that? Is there a clock above the door? I don't. I remember we did a really thorough search. The ticking is louder if you go lower. But we didn't find anything like under the seat or anything like that. I mean, we looked pretty thoroughly. But yeah, no clock anywhere that we could see here. Yeah, no idea. No idea, but we'll save that one for another day. Anyway, let's actually try to fly an airplane, guys. What do you say? My flow list back. Downwind Sim has been in there? Yeah, well, he's always leaving little Easter eggs around. Levers are down. Fuel and payload set. Fluids checked. Yeah, we already did that already. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's just go ahead and have the oil topped off again anyway. Why not? Won't hurt. Top up. Okay. Top up. Okay. Go back to the previous page. Let's see. Remove the wheel chocks. And the ladder's fine. We can just leave that where it is. So at this point, you know, you'd load the plane and then close the door and all that stuff. Passenger door closed, stairs removed, wheel chocks removed. We'll go to the next page and then we'll set that aside for now. Okie doke. Ready, guys? Let's see. Master battery. Master ignition. Engine distributor valve, that's this. Fuel valve. Primer valve. Primer selector. Magnetos. Mix and prop. Throttle 10%. Oh, I still don't have like actually doing the priming in my list. Okay, well, we'll. And I can't really do that with that there. But 2, 3, 4. Now we'll wind up the flywheel. We'll wobble the pump. Where's, I can't read that. Okay, there's the. Oh, there we go. We got it. So whatever was wrong the first time seems to have fixed itself in the reboot. I'm adjusting the throttles up just to get it right up to 1,000 RPM. Alright, good, good, good. Let's repeat the process on the left-hand side. The engine sounds too loud, or are they good? Alright, so repeating the process on the left-hand side now. Primer selector now goes to the other side. Magnetos. Mix and prop. Throttle's 10%. Did I prime? I don't remember if I did. 2, 3, 4. Start the flywheel. Okay, he's going. Let's get a wobbling. Hey, there we go. Well, we got 2 good engines, guys. Thousand RPMs. Oil temp's showing a little high, but I think that's, isn't that an instrumentation gauge issue, guys? What's the, what do we need to watch? We need to watch the oil pressures, right? Nav lights are on. All this, yeah, all this will leave off. Alright, am I missing anything, guys? Radio power on. Where's the comm radios? Are they up top? I think that's just the nav radio, is it not? Far right. Just to the right of the fire extinguisher valve, okay. Oh, this thing? Wow. Oh, I never got back on VATSIM anyway. Okay. 121.8. Now, how do I change the, oh, there we go. 122.8. That's fun. Alright, are we ready to take this thing for a spin, guys? I guess we should check the real weather and see the conditions are. KOXB. I mean, obviously the conditions are like not good. 1807. Gusting 16. So 180, and we're at OXB, Ocean City Municipal. So we got a 1.4. Let's go to let's use 1.4 now. I think in the real world, 14 and 32 is about to be repaved. I happen to know this because I was in a meeting this morning in which it was discussed. But for today, we're going to use it as though it's available. Way to go, guys. And I'm using rudder, but also braking. Since V-Pilot's not working with the radio in mind, this is good fixings. Ooh, now we're rolling. Let's see if we can sit up a little higher. There we go. Mine seems to be working okay. Good fixings. I mean, if we use com receive both. No, that was supposed to override, but I guess maybe the sim is sending something that. But I mean, yeah, it looks like we're working. James Martins is here. What's going on? Ocean City traffic, Douglas. Correction. Yeah, Boeing 514 Delta Victor. Taxiing out to runway 14, Ocean City. It feels like a Douglas. Ground handling's a little difficult. Oh, James said I just controlled the XP-72's flight into NorCal tonight. Oh, I'm sure that kept you a little busy. Hope all is well. So STW got bored with Ocean City and he went up to Georgetown, Delaware. Alright, wait a minute, where are we? I love the realistic bobbing around of the compass, by the way. Yeah, so we're taxiing in a 3-2 direction. And yeah, so we're going to take off on 14. Ocean City traffic, Boeing 514 Delta Victor departing runway 14 to be left closed traffic, Ocean City. Alright guys, you ready? See how well I can remember how to drive a tail dragger, huh? Stop, 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 stop. Oh, do we have flaps? I don't even know. No flaps, sorry. Oh, we're airborne. You know what I realized I didn't do? I didn't map a elevator trim control. Man, this thing is lumbering. Ocean City traffic, Douglas Boeing 514 Delta Victor's left downwind midfield runway 14 for touch and go. Ocean City. Well, I think it's probably best if we don't do landing rate predictions tonight. At least not for the first few touch and goes. What's the ref speed? Good Fixin says I might have forgotten to turn something on, so it might be this switch over here, Good Fixins. Radio power over here in front of the first officer's yoke. Nope, that one's on. Okay, don't know. Don't know then. Ocean City traffic. Boeing 514 Delta Victor's left base to final down runway 14, touch and go, Ocean City. I feel like I'm a little fast.
Coastal traffic, Kodiak 3410 Whiskey, final runway 22, touch and go, then departure to the south.
I am fast. And off center line here. Finally on the vertical profile, but we're dropping like a rock. Well, with a lot of power into the flare, the touchdown rate was actually okay. A lot of power into the flare, though. Not what I expected the first time. I'm having trouble keeping altitude, though. Surprised I haven't lost an engine yet? Yeah, me too. Looks like that's coming. I gotta find the elevator trim. Those engines don't sound happy. Overshot the downwind. Let's make this one a full stop, and then I'm gonna see if I can get the elevator trim mapped. Ocean City traffic. Boeing 514 Delta Victor, left downwind midfield, runway 14, full stop, Ocean City. Losing altitude. Ocean City traffic. Boeing 514 Delta Victor's left base to final runway 14 full stop Ocean City. There goes the number one. And I have a feeling number 2's about to go also. Oil pressure was too low. Yeah. Oil pressure is about to be too low in that one too. Might be on fire. We'll see if I can... Nope, not yet. Guess we can feather that. Not quite as graceful as the first one. Slight bit of asymmetrical thrust there. Led to a bit of a tiny bit of a crab angle on final. I tell you what, if the engine's not on fire, the brakes probably are at this point. Oh. Lost number 2. You guys want to push it from here? That one looks like it probably is on fire. Yeah, that's not what you like to see. Well, you know what to say. Any landing you can walk away from is a good one. If you've got to run away from the landing, it's probably not ideal. Might need to inspect the gear as well. Yeah, good thing we didn't take passengers on that test flight, says Eager Beaver. I'm going to concur with you there. Any landing with the barbecue at the end is a great one. Yeah. Dowky Decimus, thank you very much. Yeah, no, yeah. I hope you brought some burgers. We got a good fire going here. They might taste slightly like gasoline, but I guess that's the best of both worlds if you're cooking on charcoal versus cooking on a gas grill. We're cooking on both, guys. All right, I'll tell you what. I'm going to take a little break out of the cockpit while we get this thing rebooted. We'll be back with you here in just a moment, and we'll try it again. All right, sit tight, guys. It's slant. What is it even? No VOR? Well, it's slant nothing adventures tonight. Back with you in just a couple. Oh my gosh, we're back, and there's a gigantic raid from the 757 spy flight. Welcome, guys. Appreciate you dropping in tonight. We're our first flight in the Boeing 247D, and we did it successfully. We did a touch and go and then a full stop. The touch and go, we had 2 good engines. The full stop, we had 1 semi-struggling engine. Thank you, Spy. Appreciate the raid there, sir. George7907 says hi. Who is that? That is Boeing Register. He said hello as well. Snooze420. Thank you very much, Boeing Register. Or is that Boring? Boeing or Boring? Boring Register. See, we're flying the Boeing 720. I'm sorry, the Boeing 247D is in Delta, and it's been anything but boring tonight. As we've already set 1 engine on fire, and we're gonna see how many more we can do. All right, K OXB. Go back to my home airport once again. Zoom to details. We got the follow there from Snooze420 as well. We can delete the departure. I think we were parking somewhere right around, number 6 I think is where we were parking. Set as departure. Flight conditions, so we'll leave the real weather going, that's fine. And, yeah, just some sort of daylight there. Who else we got? Niptos with the follow. George7907 says, I'm from Baltimore. Yeah, very cool, man. I just moved down to the Eastern Shore a couple of months ago. I'm a Baltimore native. Lived in that area for nearly all my life. But just a couple of months ago, took a job down here on the Eastern Shore, so I moved down here and kind of consider my my home airport Ocean City Municipal at this point. But yeah, very, very much born and bred Baltimore on here, and welcome to the stream. Appreciate you being here. All right, now let's again, taking the advice of our friends, cycle all this stuff. So park and brake can come on. Let's just cycle all this stuff to the off positions. And off and off. And off. And we'll recycle all the lever positions. Make sure everything is synced. Okay, and switch everything else to off. All right. Who else there said hi? Sometimes it pops up in such a weird color on my main panel that I got to switch to my secondary panel. Oh, X-Race Worker says hello. All right, yep. So we are at, we're Ocean City Municipal, Ocean City, Maryland, by the way. Ocean City, Maryland Municipal, so KOXB is where we are. And I probably need to reconnect to the VATSIM network, so we'll do that. Oh, by the way, the pilot client is warning me about this not being a valid code I've been putting in B247. So here's the drill with the ICAO codes. And can I just go to a bigger... So this is the website of the actual ICAO. So if you really want to know what an ICAO code for an aircraft is, this is the page to go to, because this is the real world ICAO. In any one of these columns, you can do a search to narrow it down. Let's go with a land plane piston 2 engine. No matching records. So yeah, there's no such thing as a twin engine piston Boeing aircraft right now. So if we clear the filters and let's just try 247. Nothing. If we try the model 247, nothing. So there's no, because this plane isn't flying anymore, there's no type code for it. So if you were really going to file a real-world ICAO flight plan, you'd have to put ZZZZ, and then you'd have to put your type description in your remarks. Yeah, there's nothing. B47. D maybe, yeah, nothing like that. So there's not an ICAO code assigned to it, so that's why the other thing I did was I put B247 in, and that doesn't match to anything else. So I was like, well, I guess B247 is the closest thing that we're going to come up with. So B247 is what I've put in. I figure that's probably what most of us are putting in as our aircraft type when we connect. So that'll do. I mean, until someone gives me an idea for something better, that'll do. Anyway, let's go through that startup process one more time. All levers are down, parking brake is on, fuel and payload set, fluids. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's top off the fluids. We have no idea what we assume that the bad engines have been replaced at this point, right? So we'll go ahead and top up the oil. We can see he's doing two things, and then it does the other one. And now it's done. Closing that up and done. Okay, so that's now done. Arch NDA is here. What's going on? All right, so doors closed, stairs removed, and wheel chocks. Let's check and see if those are removed. Yeah, the parking brake is set. We can remove the wheel chocks. All right, we'll put that away for now. Master battery goes on. Master ignition goes on. Engine distributor valve goes to both. Fuel tank goes to left main. Who's that follow from? OG Panda God. OMG Panda God is here. What's going on, OG? Nice relaxing evening, says Arch. How goes the 247? Well, we killed one engine without a fire. We killed the other one with a nice big barbecue. We did actually, so yeah, we got one touch and go done with 2 healthy-ish engines. We lost engine number 1 on the second base to final turn, and engine number 2 kind of shut down at the end of the taxi. So, and engine number 2 shut down with a nice big kaboom. Anyway, all right, fuel valve goes to the left main. Yeah, we did that. Primer valve can go open. And we're going to start by priming the right-hand side. Magnetos go to both. Mix and prop levers go to full. Throttles to 10%. We'll prime the engine about 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get that flywheel cranking. Again, we're told that the sound on the crank on the number 2 is not working, but you will see that the ladder will show up there, and then pretty soon the crank will. There it is, and there it goes. All right, it's ready to go. Let's get some fuel pressure. Rock that wobble pump back and forth a handful of times until those needles are at least straight up and down. I like to go just a little bit extra. Mesh the flywheel. Ooh, there she goes. Yeah, man. Solid. Alright, while that sucker's warming up, let's go ahead and get the number 1 started. So primer now over to the left-hand side. I'm probably going to be an expert in the startup procedure. Magnetos. Mix and prop lever. Throttle. We'll prime it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Start cranking. Watch it says he's getting the ladder together. Okay, there's 100%. He's attaching the handle now. There it is. And starting to crank that up. Can't believe like this, that's where you have to stand while I'm about to fire that thing up. That is crazy. Hey, there we go. Alright, well the startup process I think we got down best as we can. I guess the other thing we could do is we can close the close those two, right? Yeah, I wish the model matching was working for this. It's good fixings. Would be awesome to see a whole flock of them. Yeah, somebody's got to do a AI version for it. Can we get the V-Pilot back up and running? Actually, it didn't. Radio power on. Yeah, so good fixings. As soon as I turn radio power on, if we get a V-Pilot, it's off. But as soon as I turn it on here, it comes right back up. So, yeah, for me, that's all it took. Mine worked after I restarted. This is good fixings. Yeah, so I guess, did you try turning it off and turning it back on again? That's the mantra of the day, right? Alright, so what was I doing wrong, guys? Saying it's the, well, the oil temps, we know the gauges aren't quite simulated properly. Fixin says, I work in IT. That's the first thing I try. Well, that's where your name comes from. Good Fixins, right? So oil pressure got too low. That's here. All right, so what do I do about that? Got to work those shutters. That's the problem. Okay, so the shutters are down here. And they maybe need to be opened up. It's good where it is right now. Okay, so again, the gauges are set to where straight up and down is kind of good, right? Ocean City traffic. Boeing 514 Delta Victor taxiing out to runway 14 Ocean City. Really should be using differential power. Now that I got a little momentum, little angular momentum going, I can kind of stand on that left brake, get it to pivot for me. There we go. Yeah, she really wants to pick up momentum. Yeah, Douglas and Boeing, yeah, it's basically the same at this point. Northwest. Something else, says Good Fixins, that you mentioned that also surprised me about this was how heavy and wallowy it feels. Yeah, definitely not as responsive to control inputs. And I think that's one criticism that I've heard some of our friends say of the AeroWorks C47, that it's too responsive, that you know, a real DC-3 or C-47 really does feel like it has some weight to it. Of course, this excuse me, this is about half of the weight of a DC-3 also. It's about the same weight as a Citation jet. Mad Meredith is with us, redeeming some raffle tickets. We'll talk about the raffles here in just a little bit. Oh, did I set... I thought I set real world conditions. Is it clearing up that quickly, or did I just accidentally leave it on few clouds? Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's alright, we'll do...
City traffic, Boeing 114 Whiskey Papa, also taxiing to runway 14.
Well, we'll do one with the weather set like it is, and then I'll check on that. Move my chair back in where it's supposed to be. Ocean City traffic, Boeing 514 Delta Victor, departing runway 14, we'll be entering left close traffic, Ocean City. Keeping my manifold pressure in the white range here. I just realized that gauge was there. Again, I forgot to try and map an elevator trim button. Oh well. Ocean City traffic. Boeing 514 Delta Victors. Clear 14 on the left crosswind turn. The left close traffic runway 14 Ocean City. Let's bring her around.
Traffic, Boeing 114 Whiskey Papa, departing runway 14, remaining in a left closed pattern traffic. Ocean City.
STW is going to take an eye of our flight out of here. Yeah, no, cool, man. I understand. We had different goals tonight. It's all good, though. Always happy to have you hanging out with us. Alright, there's our left downwinds. Let it level out about 100. Sorry, 1,000. A lot of bumping and creaking in this plane, too. It makes me nervous. I'm wanting a lot of back pressure on the yoke. Start descending and slowing down a little bit here. Ocean City traffic, Boeing 514 Delta Victor's left downwind to left base. Turn straight onto a final for 14. Touch and go, Ocean City.
Ocean City traffic, Boeing 114 Whiskey Papa, left crosswind 14, Ocean City.
We're looking. Straighten it out. Yeah, so we can kind of use this facility here. I'm not even sure what that is. But that can be kind of a turn-in point reference. High and fast, maybe. Yeah, we're not doing landing rate predictions tonight. This is very, very experimental for us tonight, so. Nope, too high, too fast here. Yeah, we're gonna turn this into a low approach. Ocean City traffic, Boeing 514 Delta Victor. Turn that into a low approach. We're going to re-enter left close traffic, runway 14, Ocean City. Alright, coming into the crosswind turn. Having trouble maintaining altitude already.
Ocean City traffic, Boeing 114 Papa, left base to final for runway 14, Ocean City.
Oil pressure is getting high, probably means the temp's too low. So I'm closing up those shutters. Oh. Seems happier now. Ocean City, Boeing 514 Delta Victor's left downwind midfield, runway 14, Ocean City. Oil pressures.
City, Boeing 114 Papa, about 3 mile final for 14, Ocean City.
About a 3 mile final, he says. Alright, we'll watch for him. I don't see him. Ocean City, Douglas 514 Delta, Boeing 514 Delta Victor's extending downwind, looking for the traffic on final. Oh, I heard the buzz stab to the face. It's just really, really quiet. Alright, we'll go ahead and turn in.
Ocean City 14 Papa, short final for 14.
Yeah, if he's on short final. Ocean City traffic, Boeing 514 Delta Victor's turning base and final runway 14. Ocean City be touch and go. Yeah, I need to find the elevator trim. Ocean City, Douglas, Boeing 514 Delta Victor correction. We'll make this a full stop 14, Ocean City.
Ocean City traffic, Boeing 114 Papa on the go, runway 14, entering left closed traffic, Ocean City.
That's not exactly how the coach drew it up on the chalkboard. I think we're going to be slightly long here. And we killed the engines too. We killed one engine. Yeah, this is a tail dragger. Ouch. Outside shot. Hey, yeah, a possible pilot deviation. Yeah, no, it's called using the runoff area.
Midfield downwind for Roman 14, full stop, Ocean City.
Engine number 2 still not like us. Engine number 2's okay. Engine number 2's. I do want to show you something funny, guys. On the landing rate. Again, using a little bit of the runoff area on the taxiway also. That's fine, this is normal. Alright, let's get the parking brake on. We got one semi-happy engine at least. Go ahead and pull the mix in to cut off. Rest of the levers down. Just shutting everything off here that I can think to shut off so that when we reboot the plane, hopefully it'll come up into a cold and dark scenario. No fires this time that we know of. Well, let's look at that number 1 real closely, because the number 1 is not happy, but not exploded. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we're only down. We've let's see. We've killed 3 engines, but only one of them was set fire to. So that's not a bad record so far tonight. Real quick with the landing rate, guys. That wasn't too bad. It was definitely, it was within the touchdown zone. Unfortunately, it was within the touchdown zone of the far runway coming toward us. But hey, it was within the touchdown zone. This is what I thought was funny here. What was the over-under on bounces? I'm going to say the over-under was probably 2.5. If you took the over, you won. Okie doke. Well, before we reboot once again, that's when you land your plane in a bouncy castle. Well, anything becomes a bouncy castle in this plane. Before we reboot the plane again, let's see if I can figure out where the aileron, the elevator trim is, and see if I can map that to a joystick control. This, I think, is like rudder trim down here. We can, by the way. Oh, there's landing lights. Okay, that's good to know. Oh, we got a little joystick for the cabin warning signs. Interesting. This is cockpit lights. Okay, you can shut those off. Whoops. What's that switch up there? Oh, de-icing. Okay. All right. And directional gyro. Okay, so we can adjust that to match the compass. Probably should become part of our checklist at some point, but we're really not flying this thing anywhere where we need a directional gyro at this point. Really just trying to keep it healthy before I worry about it. Remember, aviate, navigate, communicate? We're really still working on aviate stage. All right, so where is the elevator trim, though? Elevator trim. Well, I'll tell you, what is that? I don't even want to know. That is the puppy torturer. I think our puppies have been sufficiently tortured. Okay, we'll move on. Okay, so I think this is aileron trim, and this is rudder trim, but I don't remember where the manual said the elevator trim was. Let's pull that up. What is that puppy torturer? What was that I was doing, guys? Let's look through here. Ventilation. Oh, okay. That's what you're calling it these days. All right. Propeller lever throttles. Rudder trim. Okay, yeah, rudder trim down here, as I said. Wobble pump. That's when it gets a little smelly. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Well, that would be all the time if it were me. Rudder trim, oil shutters. So that's carb heat. So the oil shutters, that's almost like the cow flaps in the the C-47. We see anything that says anything about. Oh, here's that's elevator trim. That is the weirdest looking elevator trim knob I have ever seen. Ventilation will be like allowing outside air into the cockpit, like turning your vents in your car to blow fresh air into the cabin. That's what that's for. So there's your elevator trim. That makes total sense because that's exactly what an elevator trim knob normally looks like. All right. Let me go into FSUIPC and see if just setting it conventionally with the elevator trim will do the trick here. So we had to do some weird stuff with the assignments of these axes. See, the aileron set, that one was normal. What was the one? Oh, the throttle. Like, yeah, we had to do like an offset byte sim variable we had to go into the INI file manually and type in like what that offset byte translates to. So it was really some strange stuff. If you guys are trying to assign these throttle lever controls through FSUIPC, just hit me up in my tech support channel in my Discord, and I can kind of walk you through it. It was not an easy process, but I can walk you through what I wound up doing. But anyway, let's cancel that and let's look at the buttons and switches. Bring this dialog over. And what do we want to do? Profile specific. Oh, the throttle detents are like jittery. Okay. So trim down is D5, trim up is D4. Alright, so trim down D5. Let's do this. Flight sim control. Start typing ELEV. Elevator trim. Did I say down or up? Down. And repeat while held. Okay. So that's nothing. This is trim down, repeat while held. Okay. So this is nothing. ELEV. Elevator trim up and repeat while held. Okay, let's hit OK there, and let's see if that does the trick for... Did that move? I can't tell if that moved. If it's moving with the control, it's moving like really slow. Good Fixin says, my oil pressure's been maxed since I started this thing up. I'm surprised it didn't die. So my buttons don't seem to be having any effect on it. But at least I can maneuver it in the cockpit now, and I can trim it that way. Okay, well, I will do some research off stream as far as, like, I'll probably need to do like another SimVer, like a offset byte something or other to do the elevator trim. So I will research that later. But at least now, once we get airborne, I can get into the pattern. I can, just manipulate that control left and right. And I've never seen elevator trim like that before, guys. It's just really nutty to me. But allegedly, that is what it is. All right, well, we're going to reset the sim one more time. And we'll load back into KOXB. By the way, let's answer the question. Did the weather here clear up, or did I just artificially clear it up? I accidentally might have cleared it up. Let's just see what we have set here. Weather. Yeah, so I loaded it in. I thought I switched it to live weather and the world map, but I find that sometimes that setting just doesn't take. All right, we're going to reset the sim one more time, guys. And here we go. If I can get to the boot up icon there. All right. Is it? Yeah, okay. It is rebooting. All right, guys. Is this FSX Legends? Is this the first flight with the B247? It is. Indeed. So we like I said, we did successfully do one touch and go. That first touch and go actually looked pretty nice. I haven't gotten to been able to replicate it so far. That first barbecue looked pretty nice too. All right. Back to the flow list. Get my chat panel back in front of me. Floaty Point's here. Did I say hi to you, Floaty Point? I don't know if I did, but welcome. Sorry I missed it. Yeah, no problem, Mr. Legend. Appreciate you dropping by. All good. Can definitely wind the stream back if you want to see a nice barbecue. I'm sure we will make that the thumbnail picture for the stream once we get it uploaded. By the way, guys, I know, trust me, guys, I know we were talking at the very beginning of the stream about how lately, because it's the busy season for me at my new job, I'm still learning the job, and plus it's now the busiest season of that job. So the stuff that I need to do off stream in support of the stream, I no longer have time to do unless I take a night off of the stream. So the 4 now streams that we need to get uploaded, and after tonight, the 5 streams that we need to get uploaded to our YouTube channel. It's not lost on me that I've fallen dismally behind on that. I'm going to try and get caught up on that this weekend. So I don't want to have to take another night off of the stream to do that kind of stuff. But it's not lost on me that I owe you guys a bunch of those. So I will take care of that as quickly as I can. Hopefully, like I said, if I can get up time, if I got to hire a staff to stab to the face. Do you know anybody who's interested in working at the rate I'm willing to pay? Let's see. Let's set it. Yeah, let's set that as our departure. I am going to live weather. I'm going to back up the flight time here. Let's go ahead and close that. Anytime you do that, I notice, and can you guys see that? That's off of the bottom left of the screen for you. Maybe I can do it this way. Hold on a second. Yeah, so anytime you mess with stuff, for whatever reason, it loses sync. It says 11:24 a.m., 11:24 UTC. So if you move that slider again, it then resyncs it. So we're 4 hours behind UTC here in the U.S. Eastern Time Zone. So then it just kind of, as soon as you move that slider, it remembers. Oh yeah, sorry, 4 hours behind. Got it. Sorry, that's a little off. That's a little off screen when I have that maximized. So I have an ultra wide monitor, but I'm streaming in 1080. So you guys are missing the far left and right edges of the screen, and you're missing the top. What I do is, in order for me to be able to drag stuff over onto the window, I actually capture the display, not the window. But the way I capture the display without the menu bar at the top is I just capture a very slightly zoomed in version of the display. So that's a little trick that I employ to be able to bring stuff over and show you charts and such while I fly. But it does mean there's a little edge. There's a kind of a wider stripe down the right and left hand side of the monitor, and then there's a very narrow stripe at the top and bottom that you guys do not see. We gotta get Freckles to do it. Oh God, floaty point. Yeah, Freckles has no interest in. She's basically just using me for transportation. Guys, if you've been with us on any of our River Run series, you know who Freckles is and how enthusiastic she is about what happens. I need a summer intern to stab to the face. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Let's go ahead and fly. For those of you new to the stream, by the way, since we have a few minutes, for those of you new to the stream, we mostly fly general aviation on this channel. We don't do a whole lot of stuff, airliner type stuff, but we do change things up every now and then. But mostly what you find on this channel is general aviation IFR, meaning that we are, we're flying IFR flights on prescribed routes with nav aids and such, but we're doing it not in an airliner, but in, a private aircraft, twin piston or single engine piston, that sort of thing. Occasionally like a business jet as well. But we focus the channel on the old school radio-based navigation. That's what slant alpha means, by the way. It means that you're not navigating through anything that's kind of RNAV capable, like capable of navigating direct to any waypoint. So we've got VORs, radials, and VOR intersections that we tune with those analog navigation gauges, the VOR gauges, ILS gauges with the deflection needles. We don't usually use anything in the cockpit that has a flight management computer or a Garmin type unit, GPS type unit. All the old radio-based navigation that you used to do before GPS became common in the, I guess in the mid-90s, and now is kind of almost like the only way to do it. So we definitely focus on the old school. Tonight we're going old school. We're in that Boeing 247D from Wing42, and it's a little bit of a vintage aircraft, and man, they got one of the most comprehensive, thorough models of this vintage style that I've yet seen on VATSIM 2020. So beautiful plane, beautiful livery, but yeah, you really got a baby here, and these radial engines extremely realistically and faithfully simulated to the point where you do anything wrong and they will kind of go kaboom on you. All right, so once again, I'll see now this time I booted up and everything was where I left it, which is nice. And if I do, trim up, trim down, still not moving. So we'll have to manually adjust the trim as I get going. But let's go through the startup process once again. Oh, and I was talking about those of you who are new to the channel, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays is our typical show schedule. We start the show at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, which is 2300 Zulu time. That's normally what we do, and there's some variation to that. The full show schedule is available to you underneath the About tab here on Twitch, or it's over on our Discord server as well. Do, like I said, a bunch of general aviation IFR type flying. We do some VFR stuff occasionally as well. That River Run series, we've been doing pretty much all VFR, so that's a good one if we want to navigate right down a river and stop at every little private and public airstrip we could find along the way. Those have been fun. We're in the JP Logistics 152 for those. Every now and then, we'll change up the stream and we'll fly an airliner. We got 3 of them primarily that we fly. One is the 727, the FlyJSim 727 for X-Plane 11, which is a tri-jet, and vintage tri-jet, but is also one that we do with that old school radio-based navigation. So we consider that kind of in the spirit of the stream, even though it's an airliner rather than a general aviation plane. We do fly once in a while the PMDG 737 for Flight Sim 2020, even though that is a modernly navigated aircraft, so we do break the mold of the channel in order to fly occasional modern airliner hops here once in a while. And then we also really do love that working title CJ4 mod of the Citation jet here on Flight Sim 2020, and of course we use the flight management computer that it comes stock with, and all the RNAV capability that comes with it. So we do change things up every now and then. The other thing that we do is we do some VATSIM air traffic control on this channel, and as a matter of fact, our next stream on Friday night is going to be a VATSIM air traffic control stream. So we'll talk more about what's coming up as we get toward wrapping up. I don't know how much longer. Normally we stream for about 4 hours. I think we are going to cut this one just a little bit shorter tonight. Maybe I will cut this one short. We'll do a couple more patterns in the plane here, and then maybe I'll cut the stream short and try and get some of those uploaded that are backlogged. So maybe that's how we'll handle it. But let's go ahead and through the startup process here one more time. And I think we did say, our friend Melvin Leroy said it's not a bad idea to just kind of cycle all these through and make sure that they are indeed off. And we'll cycle the levers, and everything's up and down and back where it belongs for startup. Parking brake needs to come on, so we will do that. And yeah, I think everything else there looks good. All right, and we'll do the number 1 this time so you guys can hear that hand-cranked flywheel, because the sound on that is fantastic. The sound doesn't work on the number 2, but we'll start with the number 1 this time so you can hear that flywheel hand cranking. Again, this is such an old school plane. There's not even an electric starter or anything like that. You'd have a dude come up with a ladder, stick a crank into the side of this thing, and crank a flywheel, and then when it's cranking fast enough and the engine's ready to go, you pull this clutch that slaps the flywheel onto the crankshaft and starts the plane turning. Or starts the engine turning, and the guy just has to make sure the propeller doesn't smack him in the head when it happens. Very crazy stuff. But that's how they used to have to do it, man. All right, let's get through the startup checklist here. So again, when I fully flesh this out, it will include some boarding that's done here in the checklist, then in the clipboard rather. We're not going to take anybody up except for the crew for this test flight, but we can see that wheel chocks have indeed been removed, and everything else is ready to go. We'll go to the next page here, and we'll be getting that flywheel hand cranked up here in just a moment. So doors removed, stairs removed, wheel chocks removed, all done. Let's go master battery, master ignition. Get the engine distributor valve turned to both. Let's get the fuel selector. We've got one single left-hand tank that's got I think that says 134 gallons. And then we got 2 right-hand tanks that are about 70 gallons each. 70 and 66, I think is what it says. So the capacity is equivalent left and right, but in the left you've got a single large tank, and on the right you've got two tanks about half the size. So you do have to rotate the fuel. Boy, this is a plane that once we get it up and running, we're going to have to really watch fuel balance, because fuel balance is one thing that we almost always screw up on this channel. So this plane is primed to be messed up when it comes to the fuel balance, but that's the situation with that. Anyway, so we got yeah, exactly, good fixins, thank you. Yeah, it's such a common thing to screw up the fuel balance on this channel that we have our own animated emote to call me out for it. The other thing we can do is the fuel valve. Okay, fuel valve's done. We'll get the primer valve open, which is there, and then we're going to start with the left side this time. So left side, we've got primer, magnetos, mix and prop, and throttle will be set to about 25%. And we do need to prime the engine about 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's been working for us tonight. Is that number 4? Okay, let's go ahead and get the crank going. So we're going to wind up the flywheel. While it's winding up, we're going to wobble the fuel pressure pump here. It's called the wobble pump, and you just literally just wobble it back and forth. When we do that, these fuel pressure needles are going to start wiggling up. We want to get them to 5, which is straight up and straight down. So we're going to overshoot to about 7 or 8. It'll start slowly decaying down to 5. By the time we do, we mesh that flywheel, which is popping the clutch basically. Hopefully it'll still be above 5. And Then we'll be good to go. How those? How is that team that shall not be named doing? Says Starflies. You know, I don't follow NFL in the off season. Although today we heard yesterday and today that the Baltimore Ravens had a couple of real tragic news items come out. So, kind of a rough week for Ravens fans here. But now an even rougher week for Ravens fans now that Starflies has come in to talk about our least favorite team. All right. Anyway, let's go. Let's get that flywheel winded up. You hear the ladder is on its way over. Okay, and then they're going to attach that crank. Okay, the ladders, you can see the top of the ladder there. Get the crank attached. Now you can hear them. Yep. This is where you have to stand, right behind this giant propeller, this 10-foot diameter propeller, as you're cranking that by hand, waiting for me to wobble some fuel into the pump, and then fire the sucker up. So you see the needles are up more than straight up and down. And it fires. There we go. Great. You out of the way? Good. Get that ladder down. Okay, take it away. The ghost of flywheel past. Yeah, I bet you there are a few ghosts of flywheel past. Alright, we happily idling around 1,000 RPMs. Okay, good. And these shutters, we'll leave them where they are for now. So the trick in this plane is to manage the oil pressure to about 60. The oil pressure is going to be high, 60 to 70, I guess, right? So it's going to be high when it first starts because the oil's thick. But as the oil warms up, and the temperature gauges don't work the way they should, so ignore these. But as the oil warms up, it'll get less thick, and the pressure should drop down closer to 60. All right, let's go ahead and do that number 2 engine. We're going to do a number 2 for you on stream now. So everybody prepare yourself for that. The right-hand side primer selector. Bop and bop, okay. Magnetos. Yeah, tip your waitresses, guys. Mix and prop can go full. Get the throttle up a little bit. Oh, I got tickets to see Nate Bargatze coming up in a couple weeks. You guys don't know who he is. He's a lot of fun, so that should be a good show. Oh, gosh, guys. Talking about stuff coming up. I'm going to a rocket launch tomorrow morning. I will not live stream that because I found out that live streaming from that phone app is just terrible. But yeah, I moved down to the eastern shore of Maryland. We're about 15 miles from Wallops Island Flight Test Facility, which is NASA's flight test facility. It's just about 15 miles down the road from us. I could probably take a video of the rocket launch from the front yard, but heck, man, I'm going to wake up at 5 in the morning and drive down there, try and get some good video of the rocket launch. The Sounder rocket that's being launched out of Wallops Island, NASA's Wallops Island Flight Test Facility tomorrow morning. And so I'm going to get video of that. I will upload it from the phone once I get to work if I am able to successfully. And hopefully, I haven't checked the weather forecast. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like. But hopefully if that goes off, I'll get... Yeah, it's Wallops Island is in Virginia, but it's just over the line. I'm in the extreme southeast corner of the state of Maryland. If you get on SkyVector and put in KWAL, KWAL, that's where it is. And I'm just up the road from that. Anyway, so we got the mix, throttle, prop, good. We do need to pump the primer a few times. We'll do that 1, 2, 3, 4. But yeah, I'll show you the Facebook post here in just a little bit. And we'll jointly check the weather forecast to see if it's still supposed to be on. Okay, so the flywheel sound doesn't work on the number 2, but with the number 1 running, probably wouldn't hear too much anyway. You can see the oil pressure on that number 1 has kind of started to settle down closer into 60 there. All right, let's wobble that pump. Make sure it's nice up and above 5, mesh flywheel. And there she goes. All right, get that out of the way. Yep. All right, so the number 2 is running a little higher oil pressure than the number 1 because it's not as warm. We're going to let that do its thing and warm up. Engines are idling happily right around 1,000 RPMs, which is good. I think we can turn off the primer valves there. Yeah, very neato plane, Dalmanson. Very thoroughly modeled aircraft. Probably the most thorough and robust vintage plane modeled for Flight Sim 2020 right now. And we were talking downwind sim. There's some downwind sim Easter eggs in this passenger cabin as well. They do have a... how did we do this? I forget. Oh, left. Is that as far as it opens? Yeah, that's as far as I've managed to get it to open. And downwind sim, really, if you do get in here and you make a mess, obviously the toilet paper's fully stocked, so just in case you need it, you got the seat covers up there. And then, just make sure, absolutely sure, that you wash your hands afterwards, okay? How do you rank it compared to the DC-6 FSX Legend asks? I don't know. It's definitely up there. As far as the thoroughness of the model, it's definitely up there. Price-wise, it's much, much cheaper. Obviously, it's a smaller plane. It's about half the size of a DC-3. It's kind of more on par with a like a Lockheed Electra. You can't tear off a piece of toilet paper. That's literally unplayable. Yeah, I know. Immersion was completely lost there. I don't see the soap level going down in the dispensary of this floating point. I know. We'll write ourselves a nice Yelp review for Wing42. All right, engines are looking happy. Let's so now that we know this is the elevator trim, let's take it around for 1 or 2 more patterns. You know what? Before I do this. Let's make sure, first of all, okay, yeah, I am reconnected to VATSIM. We are on 22.8. I do need to turn the radio power on. So there's 22.8. And I'm going to just do a METAR KOXB. Oh, 210. At 6, gusting 15 now. All right, well, I'll tell you what. Let's go to runway 20. That's the Fussy Pants Bathroom Simulator. Yeah, indeed. Indeed. Ocean City traffic. Boeing 514 Delta Victor is taxiing out runway 20 for closed traffic. Ocean City. Forgot where I was, guys. Get a little speed going. Jam that left brake, see if we can get her to pivot. Now we're rolling. I'm going to sit just a little taller in the seat. There we go. Let's see if we can try to keep it mostly on pavement, on the taxi out at least. You know, the landing, the takeoff and landing, different story. But at least on the taxi out, let's see if we can keep her on pavement. Alright, I'm gonna remind myself of the... Yeah, okay, so right about here. Where's our taxiway? Overshot us just a little bit. Just a little bit. Again, using the approved runoff area. That's fine. Everything's fine. Ocean City traffic, Boeing 514 Delta Victor, departing runway 20, will be left closed to traffic, runway 20, Ocean City. Charted runoff area? I don't know. Who reads charts these days? Amateurs, that's who. So now that I know where the landing lights switches are, we'll go ahead and get those on. Mystery. Charts are for insecure people. I know my way around this airport. I don't need a chart. Alright guys, we ready? Manifold pressure coming up. Top of the white range. Yoke's back. Let her lift up off on her own. There she comes. Definitely need to add some, yeah, where we're going, we don't need maps, that's right. Alright, let's start our left crosswind turn. Ooh, not quite coordinated. Where we're just, so this is a brand new airplane for me. And it's very finicky. The engine control has to be done exactly right. So we're just doing some patterns around Ocean City Municipal down in southeastern Maryland. Ocean City traffic, Boeing 514 Delta Victor, clear runway 20, going from left crosswind, left downwind. Closed traffic, Ocean City. Alright, so we're over 1,000 now. Pull some power back down. Now here's the elevator trim. Which way does it go? If I turn that to the right, I feel like that's going more nose down. Turn that left. Yeah, that's more nose up. I'm able to let off the yoke now. Okay. Yeah, I picked up a little extra altitude too. We're supposed to be about 1,000 feet. We're about 1,300. It does really fly like a boat, yeah. Like a Titanic. Yeah, there's runway 20. All right, so we'll go right up the inlet here, cross the 50 bridge, and then we'll make our left base turn. Oil pressure's a little on the low side. That means the temperature's a little on the high side. Let's open those up. Don't like those clouds. Yeah, it's not pretty weather down here today. Yeah, I'm losing track of where I am. Ocean City traffic, Douglas, Boeing 514 Delta Victor's left base to runway 20, Ocean City. Yeah, full stop. We'll make it a full stop taxi back, just so I can practice actually getting this thing on the ground and stopped. Ocean City, Boeing 514 Delta Victor's left base to final now, runway 20, Ocean City. Full stop. Are we kind of high and fast? And I need some down trim. Yeah. I would expect a lot more noise, but this isn't that bad. Well, I might have it down. I think I have it turned down. It's really loud in my ears. I have it turned down for the stream. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to keep it down about 80, and I'm way fast here. Ocean City 514 Delta Victor is going to make it a low approach and left close traffic, runway 20, Ocean City. Probably salvageable, but definitely kind of got going down too steep here. So still kind of struggling to find the right power settings. And where's that up trim? I can't remember. Is that up? No, that's down. That's up. This is why we practice, yeah. Exactly, to get slightly less terrible. Airspeed's really low. Let's keep her as coordinated as we can. Ocean City traffic, Boeing 514 Delta Victor's on the left crosswind to left downwind now, runway 20, Ocean City. I'll take it right up the Assateague Beach. Yeah, I said Assateague. Don't even ask me what the name of this bay is. I'm not going to say it on stream. Okay, there's our runway. Temis 1154, thank you very much for the follow. Ocean City traffic, Boeing 514 Delta Victor's left downwind midfield, runway 20, Ocean City. Power's coming out. Not that much down trim just yet. Okay, over the 50 bridge, I think we said was okay to turn her in. I should have a counter for the number of times I say Douglas instead of Boeing. Yeah, it's already up in the dozens, I think. I know, I'd be making you all rich. Thank you for the cheer bits. I need it to cover my tip jar, my swear jar. All right, trying to get the power under control. Ocean City traffic. Boeing 514 Delta Victor left base to final runway 20 Ocean City. This is looking a little bit better. I still feel like I'm a bit high. Not that the speed's good. I'm definitely a bit high. And as I get that under control, it's going to end up putting us fast. Can try and forward slip her a little bit, but this is kind of a boat. If she were a little bit more maneuverable, I'd be banging a forward slip in right now, but yeah, we're not doing landing rate predictions tonight because they'd just be all over the place. You missed the 5 bouncer earlier, the literal 5 bouncer. I think we've got this one down for a full stop. Ooh, power into the flare. We're in trouble. Ah, this is going to be bad. Alright. That was a little bit of a firm touch, but got her down at least. Yeah, it was okay. Wasn't the worst. It does say 2, by the way. I cut it off just a little bit. Alright, let's taxi back, try that one more time. Landing lights can come off. Ocean City traffic. Boeing 514 Delta Victor, clear runway 20. Taxi into the terminal, crossing 14, and then back out to 20. Ocean City. I'm jealous that you've done this well tonight, says Good Fixins. Well, we did set one on fire. I think, you know what, and I'm not trying to be all cheesy, lovey-dovey, Good Fixins. But you guys got to be the guinea pigs. I'm late to the party, but I'm benefiting from a lot of your all's advice. So the success that you're seeing before you tonight is really more of a function of you guys and your experimentation. You know, the stuff that you all learned the hard way that I got to benefit from. So that's really a lot of what you're seeing. But, you know, hey, we did, like I said, we did set one on fire for you earlier. Would have felt bad if we didn't. Ocean City, Boeing 514 Delta Victor, clear 14 and 32. Ocean City. Alright, down to the end, we'll make a right. And we'll do one more lap around the pattern. How's that, guys? One more full stop lap around the pattern, then we'll call it a night. Early night for me. We'll get that. I think the earliest of the 4 streams I owe you is the River Run Season 2. River Run Season 2, Episode 1, I believe. Alright. One of these hangars, I don't know which one, got torn off in a windstorm. The roof got torn off in a windstorm last week. Again, I work in the department that takes care of this airport, so I'm learning all this inside stuff about runway repaving that's coming up and the hangar damage from the windstorm. I have no actual direct responsibility for this airport whatsoever, but it is kind of cool that I now work in the department that manages it. I don't know which one, by the way. I don't know which hangar. Maybe tomorrow, on my way into work after the rocket launch, maybe I'll stop by there and take some pictures of it. Show you guys. Alright. Ocean City traffic. Boeing 514 Delta Victor is departing runway 20 to be left closed traffic, Ocean City. Shot center line just a little bit. We'll bring it back. Power up to the top of the white range and the manifold. Whoa, 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 whoa. Come back. Ahmed says, looks like my kind of plane here. Yeah, it's that Wing42 Boeing 247D for VATSIM 2020. Ocean City traffic. Boeing 514 Delta Victor clear runway 20 starting the left crosswind turn. Going to be left closed traffic for runway 20 Ocean City. All right. Edge the power off just a little bit. Level it at 1,000. We're going to basically turn the left downwind. It'll be just right up the Assateague beach. Trying to keep the turn coordinated as we can. Altitude's drifted up just a little bit. We get up beyond the Route 50 bridge, right to the inlet, right where all the rides are, down at the south end of Ocean City. Oh yeah, altitude's way up now. Let's pull some power out of it. Trim down. Where's our runway? Back here. Ocean City traffic. Boeing 514 Delta Victor's left downwind midfield runway 20 Ocean City, full stop. Get the power pulled back here. We got a good amount of speed and some extra altitude, so we're going to just ease her down. After the 50 bridge, we'll make that left base turn. Had to use all of it to keep it coordinated too. Yeah, indeed, Ahmed. This giant windmill rudders, like you mentioned. Ocean City traffic, Boeing 514 Delta Victor, left downwind to left base runway 20 Ocean City, full stop. Little up trim. I'm good with the speed at 80 knots. I'm a little bit long on base to final. A little more up trim. We're using a lot of elevator. Ocean City traffic, Douglas Boeing 514 Delta Victor, left base to final now, runway 20, full stop, Ocean City. Another $1 goes in the tip jar, or swear jar, whatever you want to call it. Looks like we're kind of high. Let's get the power pulled back, see if we can get off some altitude. Now we'll get some down trim in. Yeah, let's forward slip the ever-living crap out of this thing, if we can. That's a little better. Low and slow. Not a good combo. Ah! That's not going to work. We'll go around one more time. Ocean City, Boeing 514 Delta Victor. We turned it into a low approach now. One more left closed traffic pattern here at runway 20 Ocean City. It's like trying to land a barge. Yeah, very drifty. Very drifty. The nose down, speed up. Start that left crosswind. Is there rudder trim? There is. Yeah, they got aileron and rudder trim in addition to the elevator. Altitude's a little high. Kind of level it off here. Airspeed's coming up now. There she is. Ocean City traffic, Boeing 514 Delta Victor's left downwind runway 20 for full stop, Ocean City. Full stop, maybe. No promises. Yeah, full stop. Full stop in air quotes, right, exactly. Alright. Let's try. Let's try, guys. Ocean City traffic, Boeing 514 Delta Victor's left downwind to left base runway 20. Ocean City, full stop. No, I think that is the anti-ice boot. Hawkmet says I always get a kick out of those. This does have an anti-ice switch right here, so I assume that's what that is. Still turned it in a little short. Ocean City traffic, Boeing 514 Delta Victor's about a mile final now, runway 20, full stop, Ocean City. Feeling a little bit better about this glide angle. If I can just keep it, then we'd be golden. Speed's a little fast. Oh, now we're too high. Now we're too high, but I'm going to force it down. It wasn't actually that bad. Wasn't actually too terrible. Oh, it took us 4 tries to get it, but... Alright, where are our oil shutters? They're open? Okay, yeah, we're good there. Oh no, STW decided to go to DCA and land in the soup. Yeah, I have no idea. Alright, let's go ahead and taxi it back in, guys. And then we'll talk more about that, rocket launch tomorrow that I might be attending for you. Ocean City traffic. Boeing 514 Delta Victor, clear runway 20. We'll be taxiing the terminal and will cross runway 14, Ocean City. EAA just around the corner. Any attendees? Well, we're going to do the virtual one, Hawkmed. VATSIM always puts on a virtual version of it. So we're going to do that. That's on the show schedule for later this month, or later next month, July. But yeah, if anyone's going to the actual one up in Oshkosh, please announce yourselves for Mr. Hawkmed's benefit. Ocean City, Boeing 514 Victor, clear runway 14 and all runways Ocean City. Hockman says, I used to work 3 blocks from Whitman. It was hard to concentrate when the Warbirds were in the air. You're gonna take the week off, right? It's like March Madness for Oshkosh. No one's paying attention to work. I can only imagine. Oh, did I kill the engines? Nope, didn't kill him, but I almost did. You really just can't pull the throttles down on this thing. You gotta leave the throttles at about 15% at least. Alright, parking brake can come on. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and through some semblance of a shutdown. Oh, by the way, I will show you the stats on that last landing. We'll go ahead and get that over here for you. And I was pretty pleased with it. 155. 1 bounce, but in a tail dragger, heck, that's a win. Alright, so hey, we only fried 1 engine for you tonight. That's not too bad. Let's go ahead and get the mix into cutoff. As she settles down to a stop, pull the prop levers down as well. What else, guys? The magnetos and ignition switch comes out. Those were already reset. What else we have over here? I know we got the battery switch where radios can come off. And then, I guess the battery... Oh, okay, yeah, so the fuel distribution and fuel tank selector. I think that's it. I guess that'll do it, huh? Do we want to leave these? I guess we want to... I always said in the Douglas, you always leave these in the closed position just to help keep rain out of the engines. Yeah, so we'll close those up. Oh, the scroll wheel works, those. That's kind of cool. Alright, so yeah, I think that'll do it, guys. I think that's going to wrap up our operations in the B-247 for you for today. Before we close up the stream, though, I do want to show you the news release about this rocket launch that we might get video of tomorrow. So there she is, the Boeing 247D from Wing42 for Flight Sim 2020. Fun plane, yeah, the steep learning curve. But like I said, the only reason it did as well as I did in it tonight is because our friends Melvin, Leroy, and Good Fixins, and a bunch of the other ones that have been in our kind of our circle of flight sim friends have kind of learned a lot of stuff the hard way on this plane, and gave me a lot of tips and tricks to make sure that we we're able to keep those engines nice and happy and healthy for you. So we didn't do too bad a job. You can watch back into earlier in the stream. We did set one on fire, and like I said, we'll definitely make sure that is the YouTube video thumbnail. All right, those of you who are new to the stream, we generally fly general aviation on this channel for you. The normal show schedule is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 2300 Zulu time, at least during the summers. What that translates to is I am on the U.S. East Coast. I am not too far from this very airport, as a matter of fact, Ocean City, Maryland Municipal Airport. We mostly fly old school general aviation IFR which means radio-based navigation, all the navigation that we used to do before the advent of GPSs and flight management computers. So we do a lot of that analog VOR radio tracking, NDB airway tracking with the NDB, the ADF radio. If we fly in ILS, we typically do it with the analog gauge, and a lot of times we hand fly it as well. So this is kind of aviation the old school way, guys. This is what this channel is all about, and I'm glad that you found it tonight. Hope that you'll stop back and see us. Again, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time is the show schedule. The full show schedule down there underneath the About tab, and got it over on our Discord server as well. I did not too bad keeping up in the chat tonight, but if there were messages that I missed from those of you who said hello, particularly those of you who came over from 757 Spies stream, I do apologize. It wasn't personal. This is just a channel where I just do an awful lot of this flying by hand, so can't always keep up in the chat, but join us on that Discord server if you had questions about anything that you saw or heard tonight, and I check in on that pretty much, you know, numerous times per day when I'm not streaming. I kind of pop in on it every couple hours to catch up on messages, so it's a great way to get a hold of me over there. Not as good as getting a hold of me in the stream chat while I'm trying to fly, so I have to apologize for that. It's certainly not personal. 2 ongoing raffles that we've run on this channel, and we didn't do anything with those raffles tonight, but I do owe a few of you some of those Twitch Alphabets points tickets. We'll talk about the Alphabets raffle. So toward the end of each month, we do 2 drawings, and we're going to be doing that drawing. What is that, 1 week from tonight, guys? What's tonight, 22nd? Yeah, it's 1 week from tonight. Will be our June drawing night. Toward the end of each month, we do both of those drawings, and then we reset all the entries, and then you can start collecting them over again for the month of July and beyond. So every single month, we've got those 2 raffles going on this channel. Raffle number 1 is the one that you can enter by virtue of the Twitch Alphabets points, channel points that are at the bottom of that chat panel. The Alphabet serial icon indicates those. You got a button right next to that tells you how many of those you have. 1,000 of those is good for 1 entry into that monthly raffle. If you save up for 5,000, cash them in all at once, that gets you the opportunity to get 6 for the price of 5, and you are welcome to put in as many entries as you have points for. So please feel free to do that. A couple of you just redeemed some earlier in the stream. I haven't converted them over into the raffle bowl at this point, but I will do that right now. So Kinetic was taken, gets 6. That's from... Oh, Kinetic was taken, gets 1. Oop, I gotta take away 5, I'm sorry. Well, that's okay. Kinetic, you get 5 extra for right now, so I'll fix that after the stream. It's not easy to do here while we're streaming, but I'll fix that. STW gets 6. That's what I was looking at for the 6 there. So he's got 6. Mad Meredith gets 6. And then Edmund Stoner gets 12. Cashed in 5,000 twice back to back. All right. So again, 1,000 points for 1 entry, 5,000 points for 6 entries for the price of 5. So it is to your advantage to save up. However, if you don't think you're going to hit 5,000 by a week from tonight, that's absolutely fine. If you want to chunk in 1,000 at a time, that whatever works for you works for me. Like I said, you can do that as many times as you've got enough points for. That's raffle number 1, and we'll talk about the prizes in just a few. Raffle number 2 is our landing rate raffle. Now, we didn't do it tonight because this was a very experimental flight for me, not being at all familiar with how this plane handles. Although in retrospect, the landings weren't really that bad. But normally when we perform a landing for you on this stream, we solicit your predictions as to that vertical descent rate at the moment the wheels touch. Now, that's not the best indicator of what is a good landing and what is a bad landing. So I'm not saying lower the numbers better than landing necessarily, although I think some people do kind of erroneously equate that with that. Obviously, the lower number means the lighter touch onto the runway. But at any rate, we solicit your predictions, and whatever your prediction is, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, If it happens to be the closest one to the actual that I performed for you, that's an automatic entry into our landing rate raffle. And again, that will be drawn 1 week from tonight for the month of June, the 29th, Wednesday the 29th. We'll reset all those entries, and then we'll start collecting them all over again for the month of July. Each of the 2 winners gets their choice. And when I say 2 winners, 1 winner for the Alphabets Points raffle, 1 winner for the landing rate raffle. Each of those 2 folks gets their choice of any one of the Slant Alpha prize vault items, which includes our Slant Alpha t-shirts, our ball caps, mouse pads, coffee mugs, or tote bag. And if you don't want any of my junk, that is absolutely fine. You can order instead a $25 Amazon.com gift card, or a $25 Xplane.org store gift card, or a 25-pound SimMarket.com gift card that will send to you electronically, so I don't need your mailing address even for any of those. And any of these choices are absolutely fine. I love to give you my junk, but if you don't want it, that's fine. It will bring a slight tear to my eye, which I will shed while I am not making a trip to the post office. So it does save me that trip, and that's fine. No, I'm kidding, guys. Really, anything that you choose. I'm just happy to give back to you guys. You guys are so generous with your support of the stream, with those subscriptions and those cheer bits and those donations and the merchandise sales, that really this is my way to give as much of that as I can right back to you. Nankok 907. Nanak. I'm adding all kinds of extra. Every time I've said it, I've added an extra letter. Nanak 907 is the one that hit the follow there for a moment ago, and I'm just notorious for butchering place names and Twitch usernames on this channel. So, like I said, you're just my latest victim. All good, and welcome. Hope that you'll stop back and see us. Those are the 2 raffles. What else was I going to talk about? Oh, coming up on the show, Friday night, the other thing that we do on this channel that I have failed to mention is some VATSIM air traffic control. So I typically do stream as a... I apologize. No worries. But thank you for giving me a pass on that. I'm just terrible with those Twitch usernames. But the other thing that we do is VATSIM air traffic control. I'm a S2 rated controller on the VATSIM network in the Washington ARTCC, which means delivery ground or tower. And I'll tell you what, let me show you the event that they've got coming up on Friday, because it's kind of a cool one, and I've got a pretty decent, fun, should be fairly active position for it. Light up the East Coast, it's right there. So VATUSA.net, well, actually, let's go back. It just happened to be, because it's coming up in 2 days, it's the one that pops up on the front page here. But VATUSA.net, if you go under Pilot Tools, hello, Pilot Tools. Come on now. Pilot Tools, there we go. And then Events Calendar. But this is the one, Light Up the East Coast on the 24th. So we're featuring Key West, PBI, what is that? Palm Beach, Jacksonville, Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, MHT, which I don't even remember what that is, Providence, Manchester, I think, right? Up in the Boston's airspace. So Manchester, Providence, Islip, MDT, which is Middletown, but it's actually Harrisburg. We actually mentioned that on the stream the other day on our air traffic control training stream. And then Norfolk International. So yeah, a bunch of smaller fields. We're doing a bunch, what they're calling a light up the East Coast, but we're lighting up a lot of secondary fields. We're not lighting up any of our majors. So lots of really cool smaller places that don't often see a lot of traffic going to be staffed up for you 2 nights from now. I have actually drawn Norfolk Tower. I will be working Norfolk Tower on Friday, and so you guys can pop in, and I do have V-Stars set up, so I will be running that with V-Stars and the Tower View. I got the Vertical Sim Norfolk the scenery package for X-Plane 11, so we will have that up and running for you on Friday over there on Norfolk Tower. So all kinds of cool stuff happening on the stream. We will check in on that rocket launch that I may be bringing you tomorrow. Let's look on Facebook, and let's search Wallops Island Flight Facility on Facebook. NASA Wallops Flight Facility. This is about 15 miles south and east of where I sit right now. And oh nope, they've postponed it to Friday due to a technical issue with the payload. Also unacceptable weather. So we're gonna try and do that Friday. What is window is the same, 5:30 a.m. on Friday rather than tomorrow. So yeah, that's what we'll be heading over there to check that out, and probably get you some video from a vantage point very similar to this as they launch that sounding rocket from Wallops Flight Facility, just barely over the Maryland and Virginia border from where I sit. So Friday morning, I guess, is when that's supposed to take place now, and we'll see. We'll have to update the weather for you. But that's what we are going to get some video of, and we'll upload to YouTube as soon as I get to the office from that point. So there you go. That's the information on that. Imagine that checklist, Edmund Stoner. Yeah, we don't fudge our way through that checklist. Although that is not a manned space launch, but yeah, there's still a checklist involved. Let's see here, 1 second. We got NPO Live. NPO Live that has just popped in. And he's saying, what year is that plane? So this is a 1930s vintage, early 30s vintage aircraft. It's the Boeing 247D. The developer is called Wing42. I can maybe show you their website, Wing42. Bring that over here. And this is indeed what popped up there for just a moment. Yeah, that's what we were flying for you tonight. The Wing42 Boeing 247D here for Flight Sim 2020. Very, very affordable and very, very well done. Very easy on the wallet. I think it was around $20 US, if I remember correctly. So there you go. All right, so we talked about what's coming up on the stream. We got Friday working Norfolk Tower for you. That should be a real good one, guys. We talked about the rocket launch, so that's now going to be Friday morning. We might be able to show you that video Friday night, and when we do the tower controlling for you, we'll keep our fingers crossed. And we got that follow there from NPO Live as well. Thank you so much for that. I hope that you'll stop back and see us. We talked about the show schedule. When the show schedule does need to change last minute, we do try to let you know in that Twitter feed down at the bottom there. Slant Alpha on twitter.com. We also posted the announcement over on our Discord server, so you can generally see when we're making last-minute changes to that schedule. So, and we try to keep you posted about Flight Sim news and VATSIM news as well on that Twitter feed. So do give us a follow over there if you want to keep pace on what's happening on VATSIM, what's happening in the Flight Sim world, and what's happening on the live stream. Hawkman says, are there a lot of planes outside the FS2020 store that are available? Yeah, there's quite a number. I definitely recommend that you don't shop from the store, because the update process just takes forever. And part of the reason that I got so frustrated with Carenado and that Mooney Ovation after Sim Update 5 broke the ability to select the fuel tanks. And in that Mooney, you have to switch tanks every 15 minutes to keep it balanced, or you can only use half of your plane, and your plane gets further and further out of trim as you fly because the left tank gets dry and the right tank is still full. So the plane was essentially unflyable until that got fixed, and it took them 7 weeks to push the update through the store after Sim Update 5 came out. So I've shied away from buying anything else through the in-sim marketplace. I buy everything else from external vendors with external downloads. But that's me. At any rate, so we talked about the show coming up. We talked about the general schedule and our Discord and our Twitter. And last but not least is our YouTube channel there on the lower left-hand side of your screen. So we archive all of our old flight broadcasts over there. We'll get this one up as well. I have a backlog. I think after tonight, 5 streams that I owe you for that archive, which includes our VATSIM approach and departure control training process. So there's one of those that I got to upload for you. But I'm going to try and get that caught up over the weekend so that I don't have to take off one of my upcoming stream nights in order to do that. I try not to devote any more time to the sim than the 3 streaming nights, because I do have a wife and I'd like to keep her. But yeah, I try to get some of that stuff done on the early morning weekends before she's up and around, and that way I'm not taking time away from her to get that stuff done. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that we can do that for you. But anyway, yeah, so check that out over there on the YouTube channel. In addition to the old flight archives, we've also got some tutorials. If you're brand new to the Flight Sim community, or at least to the VATSIM community, and you're thinking about getting on the network, but you don't know what to say to controllers or how to put a route together, IFR route or a VFR route plan, or if you want to figure out how I do my flight time and fuel estimates, or figure out what these slant codes mean, slant alpha, slant lima, slant whiskey. We toss these things out like candy on the channel, and nobody really knows what the heck I'm talking about. Go ahead and check out those tutorials over there that gives you some idea on what all that stuff means and how to do it. So it's a playlist called VATSIM tutorials. It's over there on the YouTube channel, which the link is on the lower left hand side of your screen. Alright, I think that's going to do it, guys. Last but not least, let's send you over to another one of our favorite flight sim streamers to enjoy the rest of the evening. Let's see, who can we send you to? I got a handful of decent candidates here. Let's see. Well, since you guys are going to be seeing VATSIM air traffic control on Friday, why don't we send you over to get a preview of it? Now, you're going to see, on Friday, you're going to see just one particular airport. We're going to be working Norfolk Tower, so you're just going to see the traffic in and out of Norfolk. But if you stick with us here and let us send you over to one of our favorite friends. He's now working Boston Center, so he's working the entire Boston Air TCC airspace right now. His name is Sheed. He's SH3ED, twitch.tv/SH3ED. Mr. Sheed is working Boston Center. We're going to send you up to him, and you can hang out with him for a little bit longer while he works Boston Center. Great friend of the stream, and hope that you guys will enjoy his content, and they'll get you nice and primed up to see some air traffic control on our stream here on Friday. All right, so say hi to Sheed. Tell him Slant Alpha sends us love. Give him a follow if you think he's earned it. And we will see you back here on Friday from the Tower Cab of Norfolk International Airport. In the meantime, have a great rest of your week, guys. Keep your fingers crossed that I'll be able to bring you video of that rocket launch by Friday night. But in the meantime, be safe and healthy in your own travels and your own adventures. We'll talk to you soon.